I'm Liz, this is Karen.
Hi.
We're here for the string light chandelier fairy lantern craft. And so we're gonna get started. Mod Podge, our favorite craft tool. I gave you guys each a little kit. So I'm gonna show you first what's in your kit with some twine that you're gonna use to wrap your balloons in. Some balloons, which you're gonna blow up to different sizes, and then we're gonna use that to wrap. Baking spray, baby oil, or vegetable oil, all three work. You're gonna prep your balloon by spraying it so that the string with the Mod Podge mixture on it doesn't stick. Mod Podge. And cornstarch, another household item, or you can get this at the store. I think it was like $2 for this big old jug. Twine, a glove so if you don't want your hands to get messy, balloons, the little instructions, and a cup. And the reason I gave you this 2-ounce cup is because we're gonna be using 4 ounces of Mod Podge. So 2 of these, so I thought it was a perfect measure. 2 ounces of warm water, which you can put right in here as well. And then I have a measuring cup too for half a cup of the Mod Podge. And that's it. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna spray the balloon with a little baking spray. You're gonna soak it up a little bit so that the Mod Podge glue mixture doesn't stick to the balloon. And then we're just gonna set that aside for a minute. And then we're gonna start to mix. Ooh, we're gonna mix. And we're gonna mix. So we have our 2 ounces of hot water. And again, these cups are 2 ounces.
I missed your announcements meeting.
I figured it would be easier if we measured it out.
I'll try.
So we have
Mom, put this back
4
in there.
ounces of the Mod Podge, 2 ounces of warm water, and then half a cup of cornstarch. We're gonna mix our mixture up. And also you can use a drop cloth. I'm recycling some serving tins. I felt like this was fine for me. Definitely helps to have 2. You could also use wax paper if you want to.
I'm gonna get you
Something to set them on because it does get a little messy. I'm not a glove wearer, but I did put one in your bags because you could definitely do it with one hand messy, one hand clean. I'm a 2-hand messy person, but so we're gonna mix this up and you're going to get the lumps of the cornstarch out. Warm water really helps to do that. And the Mod Podge. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to take our string. Now in your kits, I give you enough twine. There should definitely be enough twine in there for the 3 balloons.
Oh,
We also gave you a piece of twine that wrapped around.
I'll get a little bit.
So that little string that we used to wrap the twine around was purposeful because what it does at the end was we used it to hang up the balloon because it makes it easier to wrap. So I'm gonna take the twine. Now this is, again, your twine is enough, more than enough for 3 balloons. So you're gonna wanna cut it ahead of time. So I'm just gonna take a giant piece of it, but you can split yours into thirds. Mine got a little knotty here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a piece off. And I'm literally just gonna soak it in the mixture. Like so. And then I'm gonna use my hand. You can use your glove. And I'm gonna take off some of the excess. And I'm gonna take my balloon and I'm gonna just wrap it around because this is now gonna be part of the chandelier ball. So it doesn't matter because the balloon will be gone at the end. So you don't wanna wrap it too tight. You just really almost wanna find a starting place that's sort of hidden. And then you're gonna tuck it in. And then you're literally just gonna start wrapping. I found it easier to go one way first At first I thought maybe it'd be easier to use 2 different pieces of string, which is you can do if you want to switch directions. But I also found you really can sort of change direction. And this is looking extremely neat right now, but the reality is once you start spinning it in the other direction, it's going to take on a life of its own, and it really doesn't need to be neat. You want it to be crisscross. You can go in any direction, and you just sort of spin it around, and you just keep wrapping your twine around the balloon until you have it enough. You're going to want to leave enough space to stick your fairy light in. So actually, this is perfect timing, because what we're going to do, the balloons have not popped. That's the first one that popped in eons. But if it does, you can just start over and blow up a different one. So I gave you a bunch of them. So now you're going to set it up with the string, and you're going to hang it to dry overnight. In about 24 hours, you're going to see it's totally solid. It has a shape of its own. This one, it kind of twisted because I kept the balloon in there. You'll be able to mold these pieces. And what you're going to do now is you're going to take a toothpick, a needle, and you're going to pop the balloon. And I was telling Karen before, it makes a funny noise because the glue is sort of holding on to it. Oh no, this one popped. But sometimes the glue is like live and squeezing it so it won't let it shut. And then you're going to just tuck your balloon out. Now you have your chandelier ball. Now the one thing I wasn't able to find, which I could picture millions of, was going to put in an emery board for all of you. Because at the end, what's going on here is the glue that dried to the balloon sort of like gets stuck to the string. So what you want to do is you want to take an emery board. I used a toothpick at one point. You can use a plastic knife, and you're just going to sort of shave that excess glue off of your chandelier, your ball, I should say. And when that is all cleaned out, you can take, if you want these outdoors, you can take an outdoor spray, like a clear acrylic. Take your fairy light, and I wove it through. I sort of made a cluster that I keep in my in one of my pots on my deck, but you can weave them all the way through, and you can string them up and put them around an umbrella. You can hang them like this from the center of an umbrella. You can kind of be creative and do whatever you want to do. I've also seen these lights done at Christmas time. So if you wanted, you could spray paint them when they're finished. Before you do the clear, you can spray paint them silver or gold or green or red or whatever you want to do. You could do red, white, and blue for the 4th of July. We were also talking about the fact that you could have maybe in here, if you wanted, put sparkles, and then they would have dried with the glue Mod Podge mixture. And this could have been just sparkly to start, which would be really pretty because it would reflect the light off of the fairy lights onto it. So basically, this is it, guys. These are your string fairy lights. You can display them however you want, and it's really easy to make. If anyone has any questions, you can let me know.